Hello there, how you doing? Long time no see. I'm here in Portugal today. I'm taking some few days off and then off. There's a double entendre there to Avignon off the theater festival where I'll be staying for a month. Now, if you've never been to this channel, my name is Tom Corradini. I am an actor, theater producer, and composer. And this is a daily vlog. Well, it's not daily because I've been absent for a while, but anyway, a vlog about what I'm going to do this summer, given the fact that I'm participating in various festivals in various countries. And I am doing Avignon off. After that, Edinburgh. I was in Prague before. And it's a way also to transmit some kind of experience, stuff they don't teach you, in theater school and stuff like that. Personally, I'm specialized in physical theater and modern clowning. In any case, today's subject is going to be what is the effect and what will be the effect of artificial intelligence for the live performing arts and theater in particular. And I must say, personally, I think it's more of a white rather than a black picture. I mean, the pluses are really strong, and the minuses so far do not affect live performances. Now, there is a problem with live performances in general, given the fact that with COVID, and I just looked at the data for Italy in 2023. There's been a decrease of audience pretty much everywhere, all across the range, even movie theaters. But that's something we'll comment later on. When I say COVID, I'm not saying about COVID per se. The effect, the social engineering effect that the pandemic's had on our life, and we were basically on board of a time machine that fast forwarded us into the future. By 10 years minimum. I'm utterly convinced about that. But anyway, let's go back to our previous conversation. AI, artificial intelligence. Now, let me explain what I use AI first of all. So I'm speaking about this as a user, okay, somebody who actually uses the technology. It's fairly new, you could say, but at the same time, the pace of our development is just staggering. And I'd be very curious to know what's going on in China, given the two main countries working on AI are China and the United States. But in any case, so I'll give you some areas where AI does have an effect on theater. Let me make a list: graphics, promotion, posters, and so on; social media, so marketing and promotion; music. And I'll speak about myself just a little, just to give you an idea, but still it's related to about AI. So music, composing music, whether for the soundtrack of your show, or once again, even for promotion, doing a jingle, producing a jingle, and composing a jingle, and so on and so forth. And of course, writing as well. And I would probably say in the future, just brainstorming. I will put this in the category of brainstorming because it may have an effect, certainly. We're speaking about the graphics on scenography. I mean, it depends what kind of apps they're going to develop. What I see, they're just developing everything across the spectrum. So, scenography, setup design, and even lighting ideas. Those are areas that I personally do not touch because I'm not a light designer, but certainly if you were a light designer, if you are a light designer watching this, it may affect you. And so on and so forth. Okay, but let us stay grounded with the stuff we can do today and what are the possibilities for the future. Now, right now, I personally use AI, for example, for poster design, graphics ideas. It's raining here. My goodness, I hope I don't have to move. What is it that we can do right now? First of all, I use AI, for example, for graphics and poster design. It just gives me great ideas. Just retouching real photographs or working on something utterly new. And the way I usually work, believe it or not, when I write a show, and I did write a lot, you can look at some of the scripts on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, you find some scripts. But before I actually commit to the writing, I start with the idea, and I'm a visual kind of guy, so I like to have the poster in front of me before I actually do the writing. I know it's bizarre, but that's the way I work, and it works well. I'll tell you another way, another time in the future, after I finish vlogging this summer, maybe I'll tell you how I write a show and stuff like that. Anyway, so that's how I use it. And music composition. Now, I'm not sure whether I certainly can give you some links to stuff you can see on this channel. I don't know about other channels, but I've been playing with Suno, the app, this week, and I came up with some songs for the show I'm doing, Shaolin Clown. And you're gonna see some there, and I think I just carry on experimenting with AI. The reason I'm doing that, it just gives you great ideas. Now, there is as it stands right now, there's no problem with copywriting. So if you subscribe to Suno, basically the song is yours. Okay, you cannot you cannot distribute it through a label, such as DistroKid or CD Baby or whatever, just because it is so difficult to sieve one AI song from another, and there are copyright issues and stuff like that. Speaking about copyright issues, you probably know that a couple of major labels actually sued Suno. They took the company to court, saying that the brain, so to speak, is learning how to compose thanks to their contribution, and they're doing that just for the money. Because these companies, they have developed their own app, so there's a big fight right here on who's going to be the market leader. Anyway, I use Suno, and I find it very useful. It gives me great ideas. I compose myself, but I usually compose for my shows. So what happened is, I don't write songs, so to speak. I did write a couple, but because I wrote a musical as well. But I'm more, I'm more into the sort of movie score composing kind of business. So I got my DAW, my digital audio workstations, which I use, Ableton, Propeller Head, Reason. Got many musical instruments in my house. But still, I think Suno is great. If you ask me, it just shoots ideas. And then if I like that idea, I can work on it, develop it, and then maybe even distribute it. Given that my aim is not to use music in order to become, a famous musician, but rather to use the music as the background of what I do, I'm kind of happy about that. I really, I have no complaint. And I'm gonna make a final comment on the people who really touch badly by this technology. All right. So, but that's gonna be at the end of this video. And then comes the writing. So you got a Chat GPT and so on and so forth. Now, I think it's excellent for brainstorming. I think everybody's using it, even Stephen King, whatever. Sometimes as a writer, you got a writer block, and the fact that you got somebody, it's basically like having somebody you can talk to. I know this person is not human, it's a robot, it's whatever. I don't care. I really don't give a tosser. But in those days where you're blocked, it can be very useful, and it's useful just to throw ideas you can develop. So I don't see this as overtaking over my work, but really giving me a hand. And I'll give an example where I think I'm going to use AI for the next season. I write a lot, okay? This season I wrote 4 shows. One is Shaolin Clown, which is, I think writing is probably not the correct word. I produced it, but because it's actually a visual show, but having a writing background helps a lot to develop a structure, a story, and so on and so forth. Another one is Red Olivia, which is both in Italian and in English. Another one is Caligula, which is a hybrid show. And the last one is Hamlet, Prince of Sweden, which is basically a comedy based on Hamlet. It's a story of 2 actors that have to do Hamlet with a company, but the rest of the company has a traffic accident, and somehow they need to get out of the bind of staging the show in front of an audience. Also because the show is about to start like 3-4 hours after they actually get to know about this accident. Anyway, so, and like I said, so I think it's very useful. And I use it. I mean, I use it, and it's gonna become part of my life. And it just speeds up everything. What it does, it just enhances productivity. But why am I not scared about this? Well, because I do physical theater on the stage, and I do clowning. I'm the guy with the happy face. I do Mussolini. Go to my main channel and you see. So, unless they invent some kind of robot or android, synthetic android that is gonna, look like, they probably do that in the future, but I don't think that's gonna happen in my lifetime, then I'm okay with it. So what worries me is not AI per se. What really worries me is the fact that, theater is dying, and I showed a video about that. People are attached to their mobile devices all the time. You're probably watching this from a mobile device. I'm not judging. I'm gonna give you a judgment about this at the end of this video. Unless they're exposed in school and so on to live performances, chances are they will not go see a show. And I'll give you the stats in another video for Italy because they're very interesting. But that applies all over the world. It doesn't matter where you are, unless I think there is a social background and an educational system that kind of makes people aware that there is something more in life than just making money. This is a big critic of the American social system. In Europe, we copy a lot of stuff from America, but I think it's a mistake. And but we're not getting into politics right now. So yeah, I mean, imagine if you are trained into music since early age and you learn how to play a musical instrument, your choice of what kind of music you're gonna hear is gonna be completely different. Okay, you really appreciate, for example, skill. And I mean, it's the same for theater, I think. So this is my take. So I think it's very important. And personally, I think, if I were to be the Minister of Culture of Italy or something like that, I would have theater in school, not from a didactic point of view, that is to say, studying books, but really doing it. Because I think, especially kids and young people are exposed to social media so much, they don't have a real outlet for their emotions. And also the possibility of self-discovery in a way. And I think theater is very important in that aspect. So imagine people have post-traumatic stress disorder and so on. It's more fun than a psychologist, let's put it that way, okay? So yeah, and also I've got this idea of the Italian Renaissance man who's both trained in science and the arts, Leonardo da Vinci and so on and so forth. But anyway, so this is my rapid take on the effects on AI present day. Now, what about the future? I don't know, but I think we're just gonna see this everywhere. And like I said, think about theater. Like I repeat it again: light design, costumes. Costume design. Even audience management in a way. That's not something I'm particularly involved in. But just gather all this data of people that came to see shows and stuff like that, especially if you were a festival producer, and just get ideas on on what you could do and so on. Now, audience development and management, but I think the correct word is audience development, is very, very important, especially for festivals. I'll give you the name of a festival, Sibiu in Romania, and they're kind of obsessed with that. And it's important because you actually have people realizing, there is something called theater and there are beautiful shows out there you can watch and so on and so forth. If you do happen to watch this video to the very end, would like, subscribe, and comment. I'd be more than glad to hear your comments about this. Just a word about the future. I've seen the future and it works. That's a song by Prince. Now, this stuff, AI will certainly make some jobs disappear. and it will impact tremendously on people who want to make a living out of music, for example, stuff like that. It basically forces you to go into the area which is not covered by machines. So if you're a musician, you gotta play live music. You gotta become very, very good at playing live music. I would dare say you gotta do a show which is even more than music, okay? I mean, and it's because it's not about the music any longer. As soon as, I think TikTok, they developed like an app on their on the platform, whereas you can basically create songs on the spur of the moment. So you really had to be good on the stage. This is good for me, by the way, because I do lots of workshops. But really, if anything which is just you and the computer, I think may disappear. Okay, in a way, that kind of job. So the graphic designer stays, all the time in front of a computer, designing pictures and so on. But the guy that does graffitis on a wall, the guy that actually can paint with his hands, so craftsmanship, I don't think is going to disappear at all. What may happen is the people that are actually able to do something with their hands or on the stage, the number of these people will decrease. Why is that? Well, because usually before you get to the stage where you're very good at doing something with your hands on the stage or something like that, it's a process of years. It takes years, okay? It doesn't happen in a day. That's why a lot of people are not engaged with theater professionally. Young people, I mean, there are some, but the majority of them, they want to become a movie star or something like that because, it gives you immediate exposure. They think so in their, it's a simplistic idea of life, but even, in that field. But when I'm saying theater is very hard, it takes years to develop your inner voice, to develop your persona, to be able to handle situations on the stage. If you do clowning, silent comedy, I really don't know how many people are there in the world. Not that many, I can tell you. I mean, I've been to pretty much all the festivals around the world with a few exceptions, so there aren't that many. And so this stuff takes years. And in that process, you gotta take the pain, and it's a very painful process. You need discipline. You need, it really is a spiritual path as far as I'm concerned. So what I think maybe the number of people actually engaging in that may decrease, okay, because they're gonna get scared of stuff like that. What I can tell you is this: you cannot stop the future. This stuff just goes on and on. You may decide to refute, to shut this out of your life, right, and live as a hermit in Alaska or in some island in Greece or something like that. But by and large, I think it kind of forces people to go back. It's counterintuitive. Instead of going forward, going back. So like I said, AI cannot replace a plumber. AI cannot replace a mason. All right, so, and a painter as well. So like I said, don't be afraid. And if you're watching this and you have any kind of, you're young and you have any kind of artistic ambition, good. Just see what this technology may open. What kind of paths may open instead of closing. All right, I don't like having a pessimistic view on life. It's completely useless, so to speak. Okay, and I hope that helped you. And having said that, guys, you only have this life. Enjoy it. Ciao.